Hey guys, it's LA, and guess what? It's summertime, and I am still reading this book, Eat, Pray, Love. I promise you to goodness, I started this book in maybe February. I think it was on winter break for the kids, and I'm still reading it, and it's July. Now, is that because the book is not good? Because it's not captivating? Because I just can't stand it every time I open a page? Absolutely not. It's actually the exact opposite. I love this book. I love it from the perspective of a reader. I love it from the perspective of a writer. Elizabeth Gilbert is absolutely phenomenal when it comes to her metaphoric usages. I love it. There's so many things, and at one point I started marking passages that I really liked in the book. But before I go to those passages, first I want to say a good nonfiction book helps you, the reader, or allows you, the reader, to reflect on your own life, and helps you to identify with the author. And that's exactly what Miss Elizabeth Gilbert has succeeded in doing for me. So, just to give you guys a few things that I've been able to jot down on my, 5-month journey of reading this book. Yes, I wrote stuff down. And look at that cute little notepad. My line sister of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated gave me these for, we actually were like Secret Santa to, well, she was my Secret Santa one year. I digress, forgive me. But here's something that I noted. Selfish reason for divorce and unapologetic. She didn't want to fight. She just wanted it to be over. And that so reminded me of when I was going through my own divorce, and you just worry so much about people judging you, your family members, and you don't want to have to apologize to people. You know, if you stuck in your marriage, you know, you took your vows seriously, that's great. Everybody should do that. My first marriage, I was young, I was immature. I didn't feel like I should be stuck. And the fact that I wanted to get out of it, I just got to a point where I didn't want to apologize to anyone anymore. And within the marriage, you get to a point where when you know it's done, you know it's done when the arguing stops. And that's why I love R. Kelly's song, when a woman's fed up, it's nothing you can do about it. There is no truer statement has ever been made by a man. Maybe. Okay. She had a strong desire to learn Italian. Not because she planned to go to Italy, but because she was simply infatuated with it. That just reminds me of me. I am like so thirsty for knowledge. In anything, if I had the time to just go to school and just learn stuff, I would just do that. I would just take a class. Every semester I could be in somebody's classroom just soaking up information. I always was that way when I was younger as well, but it was a little hard for me to accept that about myself, because, you know, you kind of fight the nerdiness. You fight that, you know, when you're in high school, you know, you're worried about your friends, what people think, and, you know, that's just not things that, you know, teenagers sit around talking about, even young adults for that matter. But that's another area that I identified with Elizabeth Gilbert. And the third one, of course, I write because she loves writing. As I read her work, I just really am envious of her, even though envy is not a good thing. But I just would love to have a similar life. You got to be very careful saying you want somebody's life, because you don't know what steps they took to get where they are today or what trials and tribulations they went through. But I am longing for the day when I make my living with the written word. I'm so excited about that. I like going to work every day. I just want to have more control over my day. You know, if I wake up and say, hey, I want to write today, I want to spend the first 5 hours just getting it out there. I want to be able to do that, you know, without having to trudge into the office and, you know, kick on the keyboard, doing that stuff that I don't really want to do, but it's paying the bills right now, you know. But my God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly, even more than I can ask for. So my time is coming. I just have to wait on it, and I have to do the work, because faith without works is what? You got it. It's dead. So those are just a couple of the things that I have reflected on about myself as I have been reading this book. Now to some of her passages that I enjoy. And some in the beginning like really got me. Let's see. Here's something she wrote about marriage. And what I ultimately had to respond to was the reality that every speck of my being was telling me to get out of my marriage. Somewhere inside of me, an early warning system was forecasting that if I kept trying to white-knuckle my way through this storm, I would end up getting cancer. Isn't that powerful? When you compare your marriage and the very idea of staying in your marriage with the possibility of getting cancer, a disease that has taken so many lives, that just really hits home. I mean, that's some serious stuff, you know. So just powerful writing to just engage the reader and just make the writer, or the reader, I'm sorry, make the reader really feel, you know, what she's saying. Like, oh my gosh, she wanted out of that marriage. I love that. You know, and as a writer, I long to help my readers identify. Right now, I've kind of been writing fiction, so not so much with the fiction, but when I get into writing, you know, my life experiences, I want my readers to feel what I went through, and I want them to identify it to a point where they can pinpoint things in their own experiences, and maybe how I made it through my ordeal, you know, they can make it through theirs too. Okay, here's something else. My life had gone to bits, and I was so unrecognizable to myself that I couldn't have picked me out of a police lineup. Is she serious? Isn't that something? You can't pick your own self out of a police lineup? That's some serious unrecognizing of yourself. I could go on, but I won't. But just know, this book, it is not taking me a long time to read this book because it is not worthy of being read in a short amount of time. I'm just fitting it into my life as I'm able to. When my husband has a doctor's appointment, you know, I've taken it with me. Sometimes I got another book. You know, it's always something going on in the world of a writer and a reader. So if I have this in one of my bags, you know, and you guys know about my books in a bag, it's always something in there. I'm switching up bags. So sometimes when I'm out and about, I may not have this book. But when I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to get back to that. So rest assured, this summer, I do plan to finish this book, and I'm cheating a little bit with some other books. I'm listening to a book by, oh, I can't think of her name right now, but I'm doing audiobooks. So when I'm at work, you know, punching those keys, doing that work for the company I work for, just paying the bills right now, I got some books going on in my head. So I love Audible. Check it out, audible.com. When you cannot physically get a book in your hand and sit down and put eyes on the paper, you can get it in your ear. You know, when you're just addicted and you just need to hear some stories and some words and some writing, Audible.com will get it done for you. So till next time, happy reading. Enjoy your summer, because I know I'm enjoying mine. Peace, and until next time, happy reading.